Yes, yes, I realize I'm 4 minutes late, ladies and gentlemen. Still getting things set up, but I'm here. I'm here, and the show will go on. Welcome, one and all, to episode 432 of Scotch and Smoke Rings. I am your friendly neighborhood Oxhorn here, as always, with my suspenders set to maximum stun. You know what, let me, turn that up a little bit because I had my gain set for when I do my audio recording, which I think was a little low. If that's a little loud, a little too hot in the mic, let me know. Anyway, got a great show for you today. Been working really hard all week and all last week on Old World Blues. I published my video for this morning a little bit late. Yeah, I realized I was late, but upload times. I don't know, it was a 40-minute video. It took me 40 minutes to render, but for some reason it took an hour and a half to upload and then another hour for YouTube to process it. It was a nightmare. Then I get a message from YouTube saying that it wasn't advertiser friendly. And, I mean, at that point, I'm like, you know what? What do I do now? I could try deleting it and then finding what part of the video was not advertiser friendly. But I had no idea. I can't divine what YouTube wants there. So I just published it. I said, well, okay, I may not make any money on this video, but at least they're going to get their video for today. But then I appealed, and I said, look, there's nothing wrong with this video. I'm not cursing in it. It's not a lot of blood. It's a fine video. And thankfully, YouTube responded really quickly, less than an hour, and approved it for monetization, so. Whew. But really frustrating that I had to, I never know now. You know, I used to be able to think, okay, well, as long as I make sure that the title of the video is fine, I'm not going to get in trouble, but no. It's random. I don't even know. Anyway, great show for today. So what we're going to do is we're going to play... So the way the show, for those new to the program, the way the show always goes is we do a big Q&A at the beginning like we typically do, and I'm monitoring both the YouTube, Twitch, and Discord chats. Let me make sure that I've got Discord up here in the stream questions. Here I am. There. Now I'm monitoring all three chats. Anyway, so the way this works is I'll stream for an hour or so, and then we'll play a game. Now, for the past couple of weeks, now we normally play Metro Last Light, because we finished Metro, and now we're working on the sequel, Metro Last Light, and it's been a lot of fun. Metro Last Light is basically if Fallout were to happen in Russia. It's not really an open world like Fallout is, but it's got a similar post-apocalyptic vibe. Anyway, that's what we're going to play, and for the past few weeks, I haven't been able to play it. 2 weeks ago, I didn't play it because I was working on Old World Blues. I was still shooting footage for the series. And then last week, I just didn't have any time. I was late on my video, so no gameplay last week. But this week, I'm on time. My video for tomorrow is going to be on time. And so today, we're going to be playing some Metro Last Light, Part 4. Mike says, hey Ox, I got Metro Last Light today. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I'm having a lot of fun. I made a few mistakes in my last broadcast, and so in my last broadcast of Metro Last Light, so I reloaded a previous save and managed to get through it. I believe where we left off is I was in that one portion in the underground bunker where I had to activate some air pumps in a certain order to purge this radioactive fog from the facility. And I died in the middle of doing it in my broadcast, but I was so tired that I didn't want to finish the broadcast, so I ended it there. Then, on my own time, I went back and I did it right. So, I purged all the radioactive air from the room, and we are now going to continue on exploring once I get it all loaded up. But what we're going to do is we're going to have the regular show. We're going to talk for 30 or 40 minutes, then get on with that. So... got this in the mail today, and I don't know from whom. I don't know who sent it. It came with this note. It said, Oxhorn, just a little something. And this is a shipment from cigar.com. Now, I don't know. I thought I removed my address apparently somewhere online, my mailing address or my old mailing address is still available because someone managed to get this to me. I thought I removed it, but apparently not. So we're going to open this today, and I'm really excited. I have no idea what this is. Look at the packaging, though. Look at that. Beautiful brown leaf wrapper. It's got this logo, Fonseca imported. But I'm really excited. It's like a birthday present is what it is. Ooh. Okay, so there's no box. They come loosely packed in a stack. Oh, nice Churchill-sized cigar. Take it out of its protective wrapper. What have we here? Fonseca imported. Handmade. I've never had one of these before. I have no idea what it's like, but using our trusty dusty desktop cutter, we're gonna hack this thing open and set it on fire, as every good cigar should be set on fire. Phil on Discord says, "Hey Oxhorn, how do you make lore for your own story?" I've only published 1 or 2 stories. So I don't know what you mean. Lore for my own character story? I guess I don't understand what you mean. Stories I make or stories for my characters? Alright, let's set this thing on fire. Make sure the draw is okay. John Murphy says, you're 3,000 subscribers away from 500,000. I know. I can hardly believe it. 500,000. I'm probably not going to get that tonight. I usually get, I don't know, how many subscribers do I get a day? I forget. I think I get, 30 to 40,000 new subscribers every month, so I don't know. I don't know how many that breaks down to a day. But yeah, I probably won't be getting those 3,000 in today's broadcast. So, but next week we'll be able to celebrate. Patrick with a tip says, Oxhorn, can you answer my super chat? Well, that's frustrating because I saw your tip, but I'm not seeing your other message. And so since I can't see your other message, I can't answer your... It's a good rule of thumb is not to waste a message asking me if I saw a previous message. There are so many messages flying by that if I do happen to see your message, and if it's referencing another one, the likelihood of me finding that other one is... Jacob with a tip says, for a heads up, further in the game there will be nudity. For Metro Last Light? Really? Whoops. Poor choice of a broadcast game, then, for YouTube, huh? Well, I guess I'll have to find a way to get around that. Worst comes to worst, I can always turn off my camera, right? But then I won't know when the nudity is there until I see it, and if I see it, you see it, so... Tricky. We'll have to figure out what to do when the time comes. Juan Yinpin says, do you think the Enclave and the Institute were working together, and when the Institute found out the Enclave was defeated, they continued their work? No, I don't think so at all. I think the Institute is xenophobic. They are afraid of everyone. They want to do their own thing. They're hiding in their little hole, and they don't want to work with anybody. I don't think there was any ever reason for them to work with the Enclave. Now, that said, they did have their own strain of FEV. Where did they get that? They could have gotten it from the Enclave, sure. Or they could have found it the way the Chosen One finds it in Fallout 2. Simply by exploring the Mariposa base. So, or the way the Master found it. The Master found it by just stumbling upon an old military base. So, I don't know. They could have gotten it anyway, but no, I don't think it's in their nature to collaborate, so to speak. Rusky with a tip says, have you found any other games you want to cover in your channel? No, nothing springs to mind yet. I'm still really preoccupied with Fallout. Everything Fallout. Once I finish everything Fallout, who knows? Maybe there will be a new Fallout. But, I mean, I do understand that I'm going to have to find other games for this channel. I'll get there when I get there. I'll cross that bridge when the time comes. Justin says, hey, buddy, how about that dab now? What's the most expensive scotch you've been able to try? So I'm going to ignore the first part of your question because I don't understand it. The word dab, it's not used the way that I understood it to be used. But the last part of your question I get. What's the most expensive scotch you've ever been able to try? Well, the most expensive scotch was during my bachelor party. I went to a pub in Oregon, and my brother bought me a he bought me 1 ounce. He bought me a 50-year-old cigar, and then he bought me 1 ounce of a 100-year-old bottle of scotch. It was $100 or so per ounce. That's how ridiculous it was. Not something I would ever drink normally, but it was a gift, and it was a bachelor party, so I drank it, and it was great. It was delicious. I almost felt bad drinking it, but I had to force myself to not feel bad. It was delicious. And they keep, okay, TG Griffin says, I didn't have a question, just wanted to throw you something because you're awesome. Oh, with a wonderful tip. Well, thank you very much, TG Griffin. Okay, I really got to set this on fire. Here I am reading all your questions. I need about, there. Can't have a cigar without setting it on fire. Here we go. Delicious. I wish I could thank you, whoever you are who sent this to me, but it's anonymous and it's not signed. So, thank you very much, whoever you are. This is delicious. I love Thursdays. It's the one day a week where, as part of my job, I can relax, play a game I normally wouldn't, smoke a cigar when I normally wouldn't. I don't have any scotch today. That's the problem. I'm completely out of scotch. So I've just got some water and some Belgian beer. Although this is almost empty. Justin says your brother must love you. Hoping for a great show. I've got a great brother. You've all met him. He's been on the program before. Any thoughts on the classic WoW servers, says Bendig. Yeah, I saw the news, and I understand why people would like that. I hope it's very popular, and I hope people have a good time. My only qualm is that, for me, really, I would never play the World of Warcraft vanilla servers, because I think a lot of that is trying to relive what once was. And that really can't be relived. I mean, I remember what once was in the old World of Warcraft days. I made a lot of videos during those days. And yeah, the post-cataclysm world of Warcraft is not the same. It just doesn't have the same vibe. Doesn't feel the same. But I can understand. So for those reasons, I can understand people wanting to go back. But there's no sense living in the past. Move on is what I say. Fiona Chu says, finally, I have Discord. It worked. Thank you for everything, Oxhorn. I'm happy I found your YouTube. If I had money, you would have all of it, but I'm broke. Look, thank you. But don't, if you need money, don't give me your money. You're more important than me, so please, just spend it on yourself. Please. I don't want to feel bad coming to work every day. Jacob gives us a tip with the message I don't understand. So I can't read it until I don't know if it's some sort of reference, but I don't get it. Gundanium says, hey, I'm a big fan of your work. Thank you very much, Gundanium. With a nice tip. Thank you very much. The Sod Knight says, do you plan to move on to Fallout 3 and New Vegas' main stories once you finish the DLCs, or are we just getting side quests? Great question. The main plots are so well known that it would be really hard for me to do a series of videos in the same vein that I do DLC videos. So what I tend to do for the primary plots of these games is cover them slowly over time in videos that are focusing on a specific topic. For example, after I finish the DLCs for New Vegas, I'm going to do a video on Benny. And as a consequence, I'm going to have to talk about the quests leading up to discovering Benny and what happens to him after he leaves the Tops Casino. So, in that way, we are going to be dealing with some of the primary quest, but the video will be focused on Benny and not the plot of the quest. Ibukanulawala, with a nice tip, says, I've never played Fallout, but I love listening to lore and the story of it, but even more, I'm here for your voice and personality. Well, thank you very much, Ibukanulawala, and I'm sorry for butchering your name, but I appreciate the tip. Good to have you on the program today. Munch53 says, Oxhorn, do you remember Brahmin Ramen? I'm still sad a mod was never made for it. Yes, I do recall Brahmin Ramen, but I don't recall which movie I talked about Brahmin Ramen. Alexandros says, so I'm sure you've answered this question before, but what is your favorite topic you've covered in a video so far? Or which video was the most fun to make in your opinion? Those are two completely different questions. I'm going to answer simply by saying The Survivalist from Honest Hearts. That video was really hard to make, but it's my favorite video just because the story is so good. And the way we uncover that story is everything I love about the Fallout franchise. Wandering into caves, wandering into ruined buildings, piecing together what happened there based on the evidence you find, and then finding the stories and trying to put it together into a narrative. Great. It's a great story. All right. I'm in such a position where there are not only so many messages that I can't read all of them, but there are so many messages that come with tips that I'm having a hard time getting all of them. So I'm going to try and get through them. Tyler says, really enjoying the Old World Blues series. Played it before, but your commentary provides a lot of context and reveals some things I never knew. Thanks very much, Tyler. I appreciate it. Jacob says, the last tip follows on with my first tip, and yes, it is Metro Last Night. Well, thanks, Jake. I'm going to have to keep my eyes open. I don't want to get in any trouble. Kuma says, hey, Oxhorn, love the vids, and your voice is amazing to hear when playing any sandbox game. Thanks for the background noise and the story. You are indeed welcome. Happy to help. My Comics says, how much is a decent bottle of Scotch and a cigar? Well, you could get a decent bottle of Scotch for 20 bucks or so. Scoresby is a great bottle of Scotch for those who don't want to spend a lot of money. You can get a 720 milliliter bottle for 20 bucks, and it's going to last you a good long time. And then, as for a cigar, it's so hard. There's no specific cigar that's good for beginners. So I usually recommend the Romeo and Juliet brand, Romeo y Julieta. They tend to have pretty decent mid-range cigars that are a good smoking experience at a good price. Hey Ox, says Aislinn, do you know anything about Fallout 5? And no, I don't. I'm sorry. If I learned anything publicly available, then you would know it too, and we would talk about it. If I ever learned anything that no one else should know, then I would be under DMCA, and I would not be allowed to talk about it. But that said, I don't know anything that nobody else knows, or that nobody else wants to know. I don't have any secret knowledge, is what I'm trying to say. So I have no idea. Barrett says, who do you think is the most dangerous person in the Commonwealth? Person. Artov says, hey Ox, what's the saddest video you've made? My video on the toy maker in Fallout 4 I think is going to be the saddest. Or the survivalist, that's also a very sad one. But to answer that, the last question... I assume you're talking about Fallout 4 and the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So that restricts me just to that game. That makes it a little easier. Then I have to really decide between Father or Maxon. In both cases, you have totalitarian rulers who get their way. I realize that that Father reports to a directorate, but in practice, it's his rule that rules all things. In that directorate meeting, when he appoints you to be the next director, everyone disagrees with him, but he still gets his way. He's more or less a dictator, directorate or no. So you've got these two dictators, one in charge of the greatest military force ever seen in the Commonwealth, and the other in charge of the greatest technology ever seen in the Commonwealth. Teleportation. Synthetic humanoids. Who is more dangerous? A man with his trigger finger on Liberty Prime, or a man with his trigger finger on teleporting synths? It's tough. They're both really dangerous. I think I might say Father. Yeah, I'm going to say Father. There are more opportunities for synths to just do horrible, devastating things, I think. Sierra says, just went through something of a breakup. Your Old World Blues series has kept me company at work while I trudge through. Thank you. Well, you're welcome. Breakups are always hard, and I'm glad my videos have helped. Kobe says, hey Oxhorn, what do you think about what happened to other countries? Did they get bombed or not? Well, yeah, they did, but not in the same way. So, we learned from Fallout lore that in Europe, at least, they had already lost their government and there was guerrilla warfare in the streets long before the end of the world. And that was due to the energy shortage. The energy shortage had devastated Europe, turning them into just a bunch of warring city-states. The two main countries that were reigning large were, of course, America and China. And that's because they were the biggest nuclear threats. There was the Soviet Union. They were not quite as large or as powerful as China. So you really had two worlds, the American world and the Chinese world, with minor communist powers beneath the Chinese, the Sino-Soviet world, and minor broken European powers that are vaguely capitalistic but have lost all form of government in and around America. America pretty much dominated them, as we saw when America annexed Canada. So none of them were really big targets for Chinese aggression. But they had already lost their civilization before the end of the world. And also, who's to say what happened after the apocalypse? If robots were responsible for choosing targets that got bombed, as is quite possible if you watch my video on who really shot the bombs in the Fallout franchise, then they could have dropped a bomb on anyone, purposefully or accidentally. So, we don't even know. My Economics, with a wonderful tip, thank you, sir, says, in that case, here's some scotch and some smoke rings on me. Stay classy, brother. Love the videos. Thank you very much, my comics. Pleasure to have you on the program. Phil says, Oxhorn, have you found any Star Wars references in Fallout New Vegas yet? No, not yet. Lots of obscure references in Old World Blues, but no Star Wars references. None that I can think of yet. Best Gold with a tip says, Oxhorn, a broken courier waits for you in a land long since forgotten, a land long since forsaken, And you must go alone. This is your battle. This is your doing. You did this. More foreshadowing for Lonesome Road. I hope you all watched my video today. Today's video was fun. It was great. We tracked down all of the visitors who came to the Big Empty, and we met the trail, or we found the trail of Elijah, we found the trail of Christine, and we found the trail of the courier, and we learned his name. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to give spoilers. Watch my video. We learned his name in a language that Dr. Klein says that man has forgotten. Cryptic stuff, but all foreshadowing for Lonesome Road. Great, which I think is great. They do a great job of foreshadowing in their DLCs. Jamin says, any plans for a t-shirt featuring the Yes Man or House? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to just focus on Legion or NCR. I'll get to the Yes Man, or to Yes Man and House, but I'll probably wait on those for a while, just because I haven't really gotten to them much in my own gameplay. I've only gone through House enough to get the Lucky 38, and I haven't even met Yes Man in my gameplay yet, so it may be a while, but never fear, those shirts will come. Salvaged Van Parts with a tip says, Oxhorn, are you a fan of any of the influential media that inspired Fallout? A Boy and His Dog, Damnation Alley, Dr. Strangelove, and so on? Well, no. Not that I wouldn't be, but I'm not familiar with Damnation Alley or A Boy and His Dog. I'm vaguely familiar with Wasteland, which was a precursor to the Fallout universe. The only one on the list that I recognize, or that I have seen, is Dr. Strangelove. And I really enjoyed the writing in Dr. Strangelove. It was humorous writing. I thought the story of Dr. Strangelove was... it could have been executed better. Now, I realize I'm upsetting people, because Dr. Strangelove is a classic, and that's fine. I understand why it's a classic. It was extremely well written, it was revolutionary for the time, but taking a look at it many years later, what, 30, 40, however many years later, just taking a look at it from a story perspective, it felt like it lacked a narrative plot for me, and perhaps that was intentional. But I loved the writing of it. The writing was well done. Brutus says, I thought a great DLC would have been to travel to MacReady's homestead to give his son the cure. What kind of DLC would you have liked to have seen? I don't even know if that should have been a DLC. I think that might have been part of his primary companion quest. But that means we would have had to have traveled to the Capital Wastelands, because his son is in the Capital Wasteland. His son is in DC. So we'd, and that would have required Bethesda recreating the Capital Wasteland, or at least a small homestead, a part of it, in Fallout 4. So that I can understand why they didn't want to do that. But I enjoy all of the DLCs that we did get for Fallout 4. The Cube Zor says, would love to see you work with Shoddycast. Oxhorn, here's some love from Poland. Do you ship your merchandise to Europe? Well, the company Teespring handles all of my shipping. I run my shop through them, so I'm not the one to ask. I don't know about shipping and all of that. You'd have to go to the Teespring website to see if they ship. Yeah, I'm always open to collaborations. It's always a possibility. All right, I keep seeing these. I need to get a new chat messaging program that I'm viewing the chat from, because I keep getting tips, but they fly off the screen, so I can't read the comments. Have you considered showing your insight on the Stalker series? I want to see you go through it. Thanks, mate. Nope, but note to self, Stalker. Check it out, see if it's a good fit. Oxhorn, do you think the Lone Wanderer had something to do with the Brotherhood of Steel being in the Commonwealth, due to the fact that we find a synth? No, well, yes. I'm not going to say that because it might be a spoiler for some of those who are viewing the Fallout world for the first time through my videos. And I'm going to be doing a video on that topic soon, so I'm not going to talk about that yet. But I will say, no, I don't think the Lone Wanderer had anything to do with the Brotherhood coming to the Commonwealth, because we remember from the lore within Fallout 4 that the only reason the Brotherhood arrived is because Paladin Danse and his team discovered traces of the Institute and their synths in the Commonwealth. They were sent to the Commonwealth as part of a recon. They then messaged back telling Maxon what they found. Maxon was so horrified by it that he decided to bring the Pridwin and the entire force to the Commonwealth to root it out. And I think that that decision could have been made on his own. Maxon could have made that decision on his own. Dustin with a tip says, "Hey Oxhorn, just wanted to let you know that after my mom died, I was in a dark place. By getting me back into Fallout, you saved me in a way that I wish I could tip more." Well, Dustin, thank you very much for the tip. Sorry to hear about what happened to your mom, but I'm glad that you were able to use my videos to help out. There's a Star Wars reference in Nipton, says Gypsy Rose. Is there? Well, there are the burned bodies. Is that the reference you're talking about? But I don't know, that's kind of a vague reference. Some814 says, "So Oxhorn, how's the cigar?" It is delightful. I have not had this brand of cigar before, and it's a spicy cigar. There's a lot of spice in here. TBM Studio says, "Will you ever go back to making machinima?" Probably not. Probably not. Making machinima, which I did 10 years ago, was an extremely time-consuming process. It took almost as much time as the time I put into my Fallout videos, but with far less reward. I would be able to produce one video a month back when I was doing machinima, because it was all original stories. I would have original music composed for it. It would be, 15 to 20 minutes of compositing and 30 or 40 different layers, lots of original animations, extremely time-consuming. But I wouldn't get more views than I'm getting now, you see. One video would get, maybe 100,000 views a month, which is great, but that's nothing I can live off of. So I probably won't be going back to machinima anytime soon. How are your kids? Says TCN Nicholson. They're fine. We all finished having dinner. They're upstairs watching their iPads while their mom plays her game. Mike says with a tip, "I appreciate your fantastic videos and your taste in Scotch. Keep up the great work." Thank you very much, good sir. Cheers. Not with Scotch, but with Belgian beer. And that's it, it's gone. Best Gold said, "Obsidian is teasing at a new game. There's even rumor that it is a Fallout game." I know, but one of the reasons I haven't mentioned it on this program is because it's so great, but it's so devastating if it's not true. I mean, it would be wonderful if it was true, but it would be heartbreaking if it was a lie, and we don't know what it is. So what he's referencing is one of the past developers at Obsidian, who has since moved on, started working on different games that were published by Bethesda. This developer then recently sent out a tweet with the Vault Boy. He sent out a tweet with an image of a Vault Boy saying something like, "It's been so long, it's great to be coming home," or something like that. This, of course, fanned the flame of speculation that he was working with Bethesda on a new Fallout game. But of course we don't know at all. All we've gotten is one image of a Vault Boy on the Twitter stream of a previous developer at Obsidian who worked on Fallout New Vegas. I hope it's true, but we really don't know. We really don't know. Brett with a tip says, have you considered the possibility of transatlantic travel? That it is due to the US and China ignoring most of Europe. Maybe Ireland is fine. It's possible, but again, as I said, in official Fallout lore, we can read in the Fallout Bible, which I admit not all of it is canon, Europe had already been devastated by the time of the Great War in 2077, due to the resource wars before. We have to remember that the Great War was not the first war in the Fallout timeline. In the Fallout timeline, after the Great Divergence, there was the resource wars, which devastated Europe. So they're already done. Now, that said, after the big nuclear apocalypse, who knows, maybe they weren't hit with any nukes, and it's possible that they could have recovered to such a state that transatlantic travel is possible. That would explain people with non-American accents whom we meet. For example, Proctor Quinlan's got a very British accent. Why? Who knows? Nice tip from Patrick, who says, do you play Assassin's Creed? If so, could you do lore about the first civilization or the Brotherhood? Well, I don't play Assassin's Creed. It's an interesting idea. Maybe someday I'll look into it. Cameron says, good evening, Sir Oxhorn. What do you think about the Metro series so far? And do you think Metro is in a lore sense, would be Russia in the Fallout universe? Or do you think Russia would play out differently? I am really enjoying the Metro series. It's a fascinating bit of lore. You basically have, after an apocalypse, fascists and Soviets reappearing in Russia. Which is strange. Where did they get all of this military might? How did they organize after the apocalypse? It's interesting. Yeah, I'm really enjoying the lore. I don't think it's as I would have imagined Russia to be in the Fallout universe, but it is fascinating. The Dark Seraph says this tip is unbelievable. Well, thank you very much. He spelled it in a strange way. I'm trying to figure out why. But thank you. Ace Fear says, is there any way to fix Dr. 8's voice in the think tank? No, there's not. The best we can do is understand him, sympathize with him, and then give him advice on how to, well, I covered it in the video. Tolthan says, it has been suggested elsewhere that the Enclave may be in space. We know that there were battles on the moon. Do you feel that it is probable the Enclave might be regrouping elsewhere? It's always possible. But I do think that the defeat of the Enclave at the end of Fallout 3, which is canonical, is pretty much final. It's pretty devastating. It's hard for a faction to regroup after a defeat like that. Now, we do know the nature of the president of the Enclave and from Fallout 3, and it's possible that there might be other beings of that nature who might resuscitate the Enclave. After all, we do find Enclave remnants in Fallout New Vegas. Will they ever grow enough to be able to restart their faction? Who knows? It's always possible. The Elven Gamer says, are you ready for the end of the road at the Great Divide? I am ready. I'm ready, but we're not going to be getting there soon. After all, I've got to finish Old World Blues, Then the next DLC to do is going to be the next one in Fallout 3. I'm alternating a Fallout New Vegas DLC, then a Fallout 3 DLC. That way both games get equal representation. I realize, you know, we're all Fallout fans here. We've all played various games, but there are some players who really like one game more than another. I get comments from people when I do New Vegas videos saying, I'm tired of New Vegas. When will I see a Fallout 3 video? And then I get messages from people saying, I'm tired of Fallout 3 videos. When will I see a New Vegas video? And those are the minority. Most of us like all of the games. But to make sure that no one game is getting too much of my time, I alternate the DLCs. If I dedicate a week, or in this case, a month, to one DLC, then the next time I'm going to focus on another DLC for the other game. That way they both get their equal share time. So we're not going to be doing Lonesome Road until after I finish the next DLC for Fallout 3. So it could be next year sometime. But never fear. We've got the time. We're going to get through it. It's going to be a blast. No spoilers, Paul! I don't want... Look, he just sent me a message talking about something about the Enclave. And look, I get it. Thank you. But I don't want any spoilers. I have not played Lonesome Road. And I don't want it to be spoiled. I've been doing... I haven't read the wiki page for Courier 5. I think he's Courier 5. For the Courier. Just because I don't want to know what he looks like. I don't want to know his story. I haven't read any lore about the Divide. Only what I've been able to get from the other DLCs to kind of piece together what I know now. Because I don't want any spoilers. So, please don't spoil it for me. Cameron says, one more for you, Sir Oxhorn. Are you still having trouble getting Fallout 2 running? I am, but only because I haven't tried to fix it in a while. I've been so preoccupied with Old World Blues that I haven't really touched Fallout 2 in a few weeks. But don't worry, I'll get to it again. We'll get Fallout 2 up and running eventually. Someday. June Lovelace says, your DLC intros are great. My son can hear the Old World Blues intro from any room and comes running. Thank you. I had so much fun putting together that intro for Old World Blues. It was tricky finding a song. For the previous intros that I've done for Honest Hearts and The Pit, I managed to use official music from the games. One of the songs, both songs done by Ion Zool. One of the songs for New Vegas for Honest Hearts, one of the songs for Fallout 3 for The Pit. But for Old World Blues, I could not find any background ambience song in either of the two games that worked as a theme song for Old World Blues. So I had to have it composed. I went on to a freelance website and I found a composer and I said, look, this is the look and feel I'm going for. This is the sound I want. I gave him a few examples and we worked on it for over a week until we got just the right sound I wanted. And then I put it, I made the intro for Old World Blues. So it was a lot of work, but it was worth it. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. And I think it's a great, I wanted it to maintain a Fallout feel. I wanted it to keep an Old World Blues feel. So I hope it fits. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to start the video game portion of the broadcast. Thank you all for your messages and your wonderful tips. One more looks like. AJ says, who do you think out of the Courier, the Lone Wanderer, the Sole Survivor have the best influences on the people of the Wastes? Well, the Lone Wanderer, through his or her work, can provide fresh, pure, clean drinking water for a multitude of people. That's a lasting form of improvement. But the Sole Survivor, depending upon his or her choices, can reforge the Commonwealth to being raider-free, to creating new settlements, to providing more wealth for everyday people, depending on his or her choices. I think it's going to be between either the Lone Wanderer or the Sole Survivor. The Courier does have an influence on what happens in the Mojave, but all of the options are rough. Even if we pick the NCR to side with, it's not a magic bullet. Things don't instantly get better there's still a lot of bureaucracy tied up with the NCR that can get in the way. So the courier is more restricted by his neighbors in what he can finally fulfill for the people, rather compared to the lone wanderer and the sole survivor, in my opinion. All right, let's switch on over to the game. So I'm going to, as I'm playing the game, I'm not going to be able to answer your questions because I'll be busy playing the game. So thank you all very much for your tips and questions. Let's see here. Hopefully I don't have to download an update or anything. There we go. All right, let's make sure I've got... Metro Last Light and my small webcam. All right, let's pick up where we left off. Let's see.
Now I am in a real spider-infested catacombs, where the General Secretary Moskvin does not look like the head spider. That title clearly belongs to General Corbett. I sure would like to know what's on his mind. What did Lesniski bring him from D6?
Oh,
what's going to
right.
destroy the enemies of the revolution? Only questions and no answers. The only thing that is clear, Pavel has information on the Dark One, which makes him my current target.
Okay, I was wrong. I said at the beginning of this broadcast that that I was in a completely different place than I am. I'm not. So I just infiltrated this place, having rescued myself, or no, that's right, I was tied up, I was being interrogated, and then I got, okay, so just to catch everybody up, I'm getting it again myself. I have been betrayed by my friend. He was a communist, but we worked together anyway because we had both been kidnapped by the Nazis, and we saved each other's lives. But he took me to his home base, he betrayed me, and I was being interrogated and tortured. Then the son of the guy torturing me let me go because he didn't like his dad, some sort of teenage rebellion thing. And so I managed to get into an air vent where I climbed through, and I just dropped down from there. I am now looting this room, and do I have a silenced weapon? Do I have... Yeah... But just this thing right here. I've got a silenced revolver, and that's I guess it's gonna have to be good enough. Okay, here we go.
Careful!
Whoops!
Shit.
So I don't know, I had this silenced gun. I thought I'd be able to get rid of him. Was it bad that I killed these Russians? What is this? some sort of propaganda on the walls. Very propaganda-like posters. And that all looks to be repeats. Okay. So I'm trying to... That's right, I'm playing a different game now. Stealth is important in this game. And I kind of just blew my stealth, but I'm going to do better. Right, so I'm not going to go through the metal detector. Probably not a good idea. What is this? Is this a booby trap? What's going on in there? Oh, they're working on some sort of submarine. Oh, I hate stealth. I'm so bad at it. I'm going to have to sneak through all of this, aren't I? Ooh, what's that? Oh. Geronimo! Oh, no! Oh, I failed. All right, let's try this again. Let's try this again. Geronimo! Oh, no. All right, I think I've learned my lesson. I'm not going to try that again. I can't get up there, can I? I know there's a secret up there, though. That's the frustrating thing. Ah, how do I get up there? Oh. Oh. Here we go. Oh, but I don't have the key. Oh. Oh, that's not a door. Well, so much for that. Geronimo! Oh, there's the key! That's right there! Wow! And we've got it. Ammunition. Okay, where are we now? Nope, already got one of those. Yeah, I'm going to turn off the light to be more sneaky while I've got my flashlight. Okay, we're all right. I'll turn off the heavy metal for now. Yes, another air filter. Woo! Oh, that legit startled me. That's embarrassing to have on camera. All right, moving on. No!
Hey, what the...
Oh, come on, man. How was he not dead? I shot him 5 times with a daggone shotgun. Well, this is frustrating. I did not mean to open that door. I knew there was going to be something on the other side, and I wanted to turn off my flashlight first, but the activation point was on something else I was looting, and now it's automatically saved, so I'm going to load this last checkpoint right where I was, completely ruining my stealth. See? Why? Why? Man. You know what? If you weren't all shooting at me, I wouldn't be compelled to shoot you back. You doggone commies. Did you see that Olympic acrobat move? He did a somersault in the middle of the field. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna try and stealth now. We'll try and be sneaky. Sorry for my lack of talking. I'm kind of focused. What the hell?
Move out and find the fuck.
It's not a submarine, it's a train. All right, now I can say something because I'm out of my focus mode. Oh, I gotta turn off the lights. That's what I'm supposed to do. What is this? Is that the way I'm supposed to go? Or is that a secret?
Attention all personnel.
Enemy near!
That is the way I'm supposed to go. Okay. I can't help thinking I missed something, though. You're gonna have to forgive me. I am a Fallout player after all. I need to go back. Make sure I didn't forget something. It's not worth it. Shotgun shells. That also does shotgun shells. I don't need two guns using the same ammunition. There we go. And this is silenced. I like that. Okay, where am I? I need to figure out what I'm doing here. Door. Door. I feel like I've been here before. Have I been here before? Did I just retrace my steps? No, I wasn't here before. That's right, I was in that ceiling vent. Okay. But this feels familiar. Why does this feel familiar? I like this sniper silenced shotgun.
To the hospital. Not my words. It's the only thing that kept me alive.
But what the hell happened?
Why? You don't know about the breach?
Sure, I know the place. I served there for a short time.
Well, last year there was one hell of an incident. The guy said that when they came to relieve the watch, all of the sentries on our side of the breach were dead. So the lieutenant sent some scouts to the Nazi post on the other end. They returned and said it was the same shit there. Their boots were stained red, like they'd been through a river of blood.
Who could have killed so many men?
Whatever it wasn't human. Might have been a creature some called a dark rail tracer.
Dark rail
One of the guys supposedly made him mad by taking a nut off on a rail junction.
That's ridiculous.
If it wasn't the rail tracer, the story is even crazier. Must have been a Hansa or Polish task force.
How could a task force that size get there undetected? Now, one guy that's possible. I heard of a traitor who smuggled a spy of some kind to the front line through the Smithy in a railcar undercarriage. But 30 guys? Nah, that's too complex.
We'll never know, but somehow it happened. They've tripled the guards at the bridge since then, which reminds me, you should take a walk around the barracks, so that nobody sneaks up on us here.
Okay, I will. Got nothing better to do anyway.
Uh-oh. Ooh, is that scoped? Ooh, it's scoped. Oh, it uses the different ammunition. Okay. Okay, that's my shotty. And this... it's like a Tommy gun of some sort. I don't have a scoped weapon, though, do I? I'll take that. He did a big loop. I bet that would have been surprising. All right. I saw another guy, but I don't know where he went.
Who's there? Shit. You're gonna give us some golden daggers. Out there. Too many shrooms after all. Seems like somebody actually spooky like fuck. I just stand here like a shit. I have to check this out. It's a drag though.
I can't tell where this guy's coming from. I hear the voice on either side. There he is.
And still, I should go and check. Something definitely seemed off here. What are we guarding here, for fuck's sake? I could be fair jump knives.
I want to try to do it without killing him. It's probably going to backfire on me.
Definitely did move here. grab. Or to get the taste the damn drafts. Catching a cold definitely seems a possibility now.
Okay, 2 ways forward. This is clearly a stairway. But there's also something over there, so not sure which way to go.
What the? There's some kind of noise. Well, I have to cut down the drinking. And everything else, I guess. Shit, I'd love a drink. Or 6. Or 12. Yeah, 12.
This poor Russian he's not fighting any stereotypes, this guy. Aw, someone's got a little toy boat in his bathtub.
Hey, looks like there's...
Ah! For crying out loud!
Still, I should go and check.
Was that not a bomb?
Fuck shit, didn't move here.
Did you not see that? I lit something. Did nothing happen?
Well, was that the damn ghost or what? Something seems off here. It didn't seem quite like the rats. Shit, I have to check this out. It's a fucking drag. That boss of ours is getting us all dead for sure.
Alright, looks like this is the way out. Right there. Which means I need to go this way to discover what's down this staircase. What? What? Is there nothing down here? Oh, come on. All right. Can't get up there, can I? I still don't understand this. I thought that was going to explode for sure. All right, well. Here we go.
Up here. We're going to find the fuck. What the hell? Gone. Damn. Not getting away. Stay cool, comrade. Damn. How about here?
Okay, so there's a lot of them in here. They can't see me because it's the dark, but they're all facing me, which means I can't sneak behind them and incapacitate them. There's light that way, so I could shoot. Ah!
casualties are mounting!
I like this.
Keep the bitch for that!
Incendiary bullets, too. I think I've got a new favorite toy. Oh, okay, I see where I'm at. I'm on the other side of that big room where I killed all those guys. So why the double back? What's up there? All right, well, I think that's where I need to go.
All right, everyone stand by. We're starting the equipment check. Recruit, are you ready?
One moment. Yeah, I'm ready.
Then let's move along the lead. Catalyst stay.
Nominal.
Synthesis gas pressure.
Okay, ладно.
Flow rate.
Okay.
Heat exchanger temperature.
Standard.
Methanol output at the separator.
Normal.
Speed.
All right.
Great, got that. Let's move to the second.
One moment.
Who's there? Hey! Looks like there's... I'm hit! Shit! Fire for effect! You pig! Let's get the bitch for that!
Okay. Well, not the most elegant way, but... least I survived. I see. They provided me with a lot of trapdoors and stuff to sneak around. Too bad I was a Philistine and just killed them all. Justice, equality, peace. Moscovin knows how to hit where it hurts. It might seem strange, but they are right. If we don't reach an agreement, don't stop fighting, we'll finish ourselves off much sooner than any mutants would. Communists, just like Nazis, use the bunker located by the Order as bait. The common folk swallow it hook, line, and sinker. And that's all. War. Prosperity has to be bought with the price of blood. For humanity to have a bright future, one more generation has to discard its present. Huh. What is that? Well... Does this bring me up? It does. Oh, right to where I was. Okay. That's the way out. No, it's not the way out. Yeah, this gun does consume my currency. Oh well, I like that gun, but it does ruin all my currencies, so. You gotta go through the fan. Okay? Oh, the fan. All right. Thank you. Let's see. Where's the fan? Up here, right?
Where did you put the goods? Wherever I had space left. Those shelves mostly.
Who's there? Who's there?
Grenade! Sorry, shit! Goosies! Careful! Gotta make the beach pay! Let's get the beach for that! You are a good guy! Fuck you! Man down!
All right, well, this is my first time using the pump action sniper, and it's pretty amazing. Okay. Well, so much for finesse. I must find the last surviving Dark One. The order dictates that I eliminate it. That is my mission. Kill it, like I killed all of its kin. I am prohibited from reflecting on this order. I have no right to doubt, but after all I recalled under the effect of Corbute's serum, I no longer know if I still want to carry the order out. All right, before I go down that door, I'm gonna run around a little bit. Explore just a tad. What does that mean?
Hold your ground. Reinforcements are on their way.
He was a good guy! Take the fuck out! I'm hit! There! Shit! Keep it in pin! Damn!
These guys are tough. I'm happy to admit that he was a good guy, so you say, but he fired on me. But then again, I fired on him. All right, all right. Maybe I'm the bad guy here. That's a great song for pushing one note. Okay, I'm confused. I see many doors out. Ah, but they don't work. So that door doesn't work. And I'm presuming this door won't work either. Indeed, which means there's one way out. Aha! I know where to go.
To stand here much longer. Yeah, we should be coming back from the war, sir. Did you ever do watch duty there? Yeah, it's a creepy place. The station's nearby. There's the machine gun, searchlight, your comrades are around. Some muscles and cobwebs, and the sound just freezes blood. Why not burn those whips? We do that all the time. In a couple of weeks, the damn beasts have everything covered with that shit again. Damn, they sure are a lot of trouble. Maybe we should just weld the gate shut and be done with it. And what if we have to get to Venice fast? How will we go there? Take a train to Hansa territory? Forget it. The only way is to keep that damn watch there. Who's there?
Well, shooting that light was my attempt to put it out so I could sneak up on him and incapacitate him without killing him. But I guess that gave away my position. And now I can't use this turret thing anymore, can I? Money, money. Am I stuck?
Who's there?
Where the hell?
What that?
How should I know? Look like a human with a large head. When I look at place up now, I couldn't have just imagined it.
Weird shit starts happening after a 6-hour watch.
Maybe. But somebody's stealing the parts of food.
I have to check this out.
I should go and check.
It's a drag.
I'm hoping they'll give up and turn around, and then I can incapacitate him without killing him. But if they shine their light my way, I'm done. I'm gonna have to...
Waiting till our backs are turned, then selling shit to Hansa.
Either way, the brass better not hear you talking. If you say too much, they'll pin it on you. You did... Enemy near! Huh? Who the hell is there? He might be gone. Fucking go there. He isn't going anywhere. We're going to find him.
Seems like somebody actually
here.
Somebody definitely did move here.
Check this out.
Where the hell is he hiding?
Next one? Anyone?
I couldn't have just imagined it.
Quite like the rest.
Got too many doggone lights.
Seems like somebody actually. Clip empty! Fire in the hole! Eat a grenade, you sorry shit! Keeping one pin! Cover me! I'm up!
Well, alright. Well, I got one without killing the others, but the others are all... Oh well, they're dead. Sorry, commies. Okay. Hello. Can I use this? No. Why do I have a feeling of something bad is gonna happen? Oh! That is horrifying.
Stay down, or your brain goes splat. Wait a minute. Artyom, is it you?
It's me!
I was able to send a report back to the Order via my old acquaintance, Andrew the blacksmith. At least Miller will know that I am alive, that I haven't completed the mission, but haven't resigned from it either.
That's one serious pickle you're in. But I can help. I have friends, and they have friends who can relay everything you tell me to your guys from the Order. So, now you must return home to Polis? Well, there's no direct route. Everything's cordoned off here. But I believe the Order has an outpost nearby.
Who is this guy?
On the surface. The church in the marshes. Try that place. If we can get word to your people, they might meet you there.
Sounds good.
As for me, I started life anew. Left Kuznetsky Most. The Reds completely subverted the place. Looking for traitors and spies. Sending people to camps, or just shooting them. All because of the coming war. People are fleeing from Kuznetsky Most and their whole Red Line.
Did you see the armored train the Reds are building?
Yeah.
Well, we built something too, with the stuff the refugees are bringing.
A time
Here,
machine?
Take a look. At this baby, the boys even gave her a name. You can't help but fall in love with her.
Oh no, she's gorgeous.
She did a swell job running refugees. But hell, you can't save everyone. So, take it. We have people in Venice too. When you get there, find Woodpecker and tell him where you left our baby. Climb aboard.
I will, but I'm going to have to save this for another episode. Thank you all for coming to this week's episode of Scotch and Smoke Rings. I'm going to have to end the broadcast now. I still have to finish my video for tomorrow, so I'm going to work on that. You guys have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning with a brand new video, and next week, same Ox time, same Ox channel. Thanks for coming. Have a good one.